Yemen, a country where people chew leaves to stave off hunger, where cities have no electricity, and where silence isn't peace, it's survival. Would you like to see a coastline more beautiful than the French Riviera, abandoned and buried in dust? Or a place so remote even Google Maps gives up? Yemen is facing one of the greatest crises in its history: corruption. Politicians sell oil and transfer money to personal accounts in Western countries, while the people of Yemen endure a hard life. In cities like Taiz or Sana'a, there's no real government left. Just shifting alliances, tribal factions, and whoever has the biggest gun that day. If you're picturing a country with laws, embassies, or even basic public safety, you need to erase that image. The State Department has had a do not travel warning on Yemen for over a decade. Kidnappings? Common. Even seasoned aid workers and veteran journalists have vanished. Tourist visas? Almost non-existent. Unless you're press, NGO, or have diplomatic clearance, you're not getting in. And if something goes wrong, there's no embassy, no hotline, and no rescue. Yet, people still live here, still smile here, and believe in something better. Would you ever consider setting foot in a place like this? If so, comment 1 and we'll share the path that will take you there. But Yemen's oil wealth, lost potential, and why some of the richest resources on Earth are buried under dust, bullets, and broken dreams. When squeezing the earth and rocks of Yemen, you will find oil flowing out. But in Yemen, wealth doesn't rise to the surface. It seeps back into the earth. Forgotten. Fought over. Unused. Over 80% of Yemen's population is currently in need of urgent assistance, because most of Yemen's oil lies in disputed tribal lands. Pipelines snake through territories that shift hands weekly, controlled by warlords today, rebels tomorrow, and maybe no one the next. There are no security guarantees, no clear ownership, no infrastructure to support extraction. And what little oil does get pumped, much of it is smuggled or siphoned off before it reaches the public. Even in big cities, electricity isn't a given. Some towns go days or weeks without power. Hospitals run on donated fuel. Children go to school on empty stomachs. Some faint mid-lesson. And entire neighborhoods live in shadows, not just from darkness, but from neglect. In the black market, $1 can get you nearly 1,500 Yemeni rials, but what it buys is shrinking by the week. That being said, locals are inventive. Families share solar-powered batteries. Water is stored and rationed like gold. And life continues, not because conditions are good, but because hope is stubborn here. Yemen is the proof that having natural resources doesn't mean having a future, unless someone fights for it, manages it, and protects it. When most people think of the Arab world, they picture gold-plated skylines, six-figure cars parked on the beach, and brunches that cost more than rent back home. Gold-plated clothing, million-dollar supercars. However, Yemen is a completely different exception. A lot of people equate the Middle East with oil money, strict religion, and ultra-modern tech. But Yemen doesn't fit the mold. Yemen is the Arab world's heartbreak, a reminder that the Middle East is not a monolith. While the UAE chases sleek glass towers and AI investment hubs, Yemenis gather on floor mats. They pass sweet tea. They recite poetry. They talk about family, not business. There's a kind of quiet richness here, one rooted in memory, not material. In Yemen, to endure is to win. To hold onto your land, your tribe, your dignity, even when the world forgets you. And it's this very resilience that makes outside intervention nearly impossible. Foreign governments offer aid. International consultants propose reforms. But Yemen doesn't trust easily. After decades of invasions, broken promises, and abandoned peace deals, who would? We step into Yemen's present-day ruins, where abandoned beaches and silent streets tell the story of a nation frozen in time. But first, take 5 seconds to hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of our new content. The first thing you feel when you cross into Yemen is silence. It feels like you are stepping into another world where it is not the year 2024, but a completely different era. Buildings lean at strange angles, some held together by rusted steel and prayers. Signboards are faded like memories, and the coastline, once whispered to rival the French Riviera in its potential, now lies abandoned, buried under wind and salt. You walk along dirt roads where sand and gravel mix beneath your boots, giving each step a crunch like walking across broken shells. Just a breeze that tastes like dust and maybe a hint of the sea. Some sea creatures lie motionless on the sand, hopeless. There's a certain untouched poetry here, like nature is slowly taking back what people had to leave behind. And yet, as you move deeper inland, you'll spot signs of life. Makeshift shops open, people rush about, and vehicles occasionally pass by. Old pickup trucks carry fruit or jugs of water. Kids peek out behind walls. A man waves cautiously, not as a seller, but as a neighbor. The infrastructure is battered. Trash lines the sidewalks like forgotten confetti. But there's rhythm here. Slow, strained, but alive. There's no tourism board to welcome you. No Airbnb superhost. But if you come with respect, and if someone vouches for you, Yemenis will offer you tea, food, and a story. And stories are a kind of currency here. It truly reflects a country in decline, where signs of development seem to have been completely forgotten. But amidst the ruins, there is still a faint hope. If you landed in a country with no Wi-Fi, no running water, and no electricity, could you stay there? Feel free to share your thoughts with us in the comments below. We're not just observing, we're stepping into everyday Yemeni life. The food, the economy, the humanity behind the headlines. Some people only earn about $30 a month. A highly qualified doctor only earns about $200. Step into a Yemeni street-side shop, if you can call it that. It's often just a wooden counter and a curtain. Just spiced camel meat, fermented flatbread, and honesty. The people of Yemen love camel meat and always enjoy eating it. And more often than not, shared with a stranger. A Yemeni man supporting his entire family might earn the equivalent of a single Uber Eats tip back home. 100 US dollars, that's his month. Rent, food, everything. Teachers? Often not paid at all. Doctors? Underpaid, overworked, and often moonlighting just to survive. That's why many turn to side jobs or slide into shady jobs. They do not feel uncomfortable when a camera is pointed at them and are ready to offer a friendly smile. Despite the hardships of life, they still maintain their hospitality and small joys in every moment. It's humbling. These are people who've lost so much but haven't lost themselves. Yemeni men sell spices, textiles, oud perfume. Even when they have these products, selling them becomes very difficult due to low demand and rampant inflation. Yemen doesn't whisper its identity. It holds it tight. Worn, weathered, but proud. And when you walk through the streets here, you don't just see buildings. It feels like the old buildings could collapse at any moment. Every wall tells a story, in chipped paint and faded posters. Arabic script curls across surfaces, but nothing's in English. You will see most of the people are in their 40s and 50s with weary faces. The younger generation is absent from the public squares. Yemen feels like a country paused in time or aged ahead of it. Many young people have fled. The ones who remain carry the look of those who've seen too much too soon. Men wear ankle-length thobes, turbans, or caps. Western fashion, almost non-existent. What about the women? They'll likely be completely covered, head to toe in black. No makeup, no eye contact, no small talk. If you are a man from abroad, do not expect to be able to talk to a Yemeni woman in public. This isn't Paris or Manila. Romantic curiosity here can be perceived as disrespectful, but behind closed doors, Yemeni women are the backbone of the family, fiercely strong, deeply loving, and full of fire. You will come across a plant called khat, a drug that helps users feel relaxed and comfortable. Every afternoon, shops close and men gather in circles, chewing for hours. Some people even line up to buy it. It's a drain on family income, productivity, and dependency. The vast and dangerous beauty of Yemen's landscapes, and the crumbling infrastructure that makes every journey a test of resilience. Buckle up, the desert roads aren't forgiving. Yemen, a country located in the vast desert land, hides a pristine and strange beauty. It's not just sand here, it's ancient rock formations shaped by thousands of years of wind, storms, and silence. These aren't road trip backdrops, these are survival zones. Kids walk for miles to reach school if there's still a teacher there. People hitchhike between towns because public buses stopped running long ago. Gas stations, mostly abandoned or dry. No Uber, no buses, no safe taxis. If your car breaks down on a rural road, there's no roadside rescue. Cell signal? Spotty. Google Maps? Often wrong, or simply blank. And for those wondering about renting a 4x4 to explore, without a local contact or armed escort, you may not get far or back. Old buildings with dull colors, some structures such as hotels or palaces, were once symbols of wealth and grandeur, but now most are abandoned. Women live in a different world. They are always covered in black veils and have no voice in society. You won't see them much in public. They tend goats, fetch water, cook over fires, and do it all without complaint. To reach Yemen, you must first fly into Salalah, a sleepy coastal town in eastern Oman. From there, your path turns to desert. Long, lonely, and unsure. You have to drive a long distance of 33 kilometers, which takes about 2 hours. Along this road, the scenery is quite desolate, with only narrow asphalt roads, and you rarely encounter any living creatures except for a few stray camels. No road signs, no rest stops, just sand that shifts beneath your tires like memory. Occasionally, a lone figure will appear on the horizon, wrapped in cloth, walking as if time forgot him. Upon arrival at the border, you will encounter Somali soldiers who will stop you and interrogate you. They will warn that this is a very dangerous area. After a short interrogation, you will easily pass through and enter Yemen, as the Yemen border is almost unprotected. You may be wondering, why not enter through Saudi Arabia? It's closer to the capital, right? That's where the war is thickest. Tribal conflicts rage, bombings echo. Cities like Sana'a and Hudaydah are constantly in flux, torn between factions. However, you will need a press card and special access granted by authorized organizations. If you're caught without documentation, best case, you're sent back. Worst case, you're never heard from again. Yemen, a country located at the southernmost tip of the Arabian Peninsula, has the shape of a large rectangle spanning an area of 555,000 square kilometers. That's more than double the size of Florida, with a population just slightly bigger, about 33 million people. Here, people live closer to the land and often closer to the edge. To the north, Saudi Arabia, rich, powerful, and militarized. To the east, Oman, quieter but increasingly nervous about its neighbor. To the south, the Arabian Sea, vast and largely unguarded. To the west, the Red Sea, a trade artery and a strategic prize for global powers. And a coastline stretching more than 2,000 kilometers, most of it untouched. You can start your morning in desert heat, and by nightfall be sipping tea in a mountain village cloaked in fog. The population primarily speaks Arabic, and nearly the entire population is devout Muslim. But don't confuse that with uniformity. Yemen is tribal first, national second. There are dozens of dialects, clans, loyalties, and many old ones. This makes the country difficult to govern, but also incredibly resilient. Where one city may fall, a village 5 miles away may thrive, through its own networks, customs, and unwritten rules. The south broils under 110-degree heat. The Central Highlands? Cool and green after rare seasonal rains. Some regions get less rainfall in a year than Los Angeles gets in a month. Here, survival isn't measured in months, it's measured in water. Yemen's location has always made it a prize. Romans wanted it, Ottomans claimed it. The British Empire fought for its ports. Today, it sits at the edge of global shipping lanes, a strategic choke point at the mouth of the Red Sea. About 200 years ago, Yemen was part of the Ottoman Empire, but the empire's control here was not smooth. In the 1800s, as the Ottomans faltered, the British saw an opportunity. The British intervened in Yemen, inciting rebellions and helping the Arabs separate Yemen from the Ottomans. When World War I ended and the Ottomans collapsed, Yemen finally tasted a version of independence. Fast forward to 2011. The Arab Spring drew Yemen into a deep political crisis, leading to the collapse of the government. While Western media spotlighted Egypt and Tunisia, in Yemen, protests became clashes. Presidents fled, militias rose, and foreign powers filled the vacuum. Today, there's no single power in charge. Multiple governments claim legitimacy. Militant groups control key cities, and international players like Iran, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and even the United States pull strings from afar. International organizations such as the United Kingdom and the United Nations can easily intervene in Yemen's internal affairs, which further complicates the situation. Although the people hoped for change, no strong leader emerged to change the situation. We've explored 10 amazing facts about this incredible country. If you enjoyed the video about Yemen, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Your support is the driving force that helps us continuously improve and bring you even more engaging content. Thank you and see you in our next travel documentary.